We've seen the lawmakers trying to ban 3D printers, try to ban printers capable of printing guns specifically. We've seen them try to make it illegal to have a 3D printer in the home with a minor, and we've seen them try to ban computers and computer access to minors, all in the name of stopping 3D printed guns. Obviously, those attempts were ridiculous and ran into some major roadblocks. But anti-gunners have been trying to take a new approach lately. If they can't regulate the plans themselves or ban the printers, they can try and make the printers useless. Or at the very least, make it so that the printers alert the authorities to come raid your house if you print a single suspected gun part. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. There are a lot of people who saw the advent of 3D printed guns as the beginning of the end for gun control, and it's a fair point. It's pretty hard to regulate what people do in their own homes when plans for those 3D printed guns have been ruled as protected under the First Amendment. Anti-gunners know what these can be used for, as I highlighted in a video about rebels fighting against a military coup in Myanmar and actually doing some damage. I would think that that's what they're afraid of here. 3D printed guns are rebellion, and rebellion is the true spirit of America.
Can't stop the signal, Mel.
But folks in the gun control world have figured out that printers require software, and so now they've turned to software engineers to prevent people from printing gun parts and even possibly making those printers tattle on you if you try to. But before I get into the details, this video is brought to you with the help of Home Title Lock. When it comes to security, most homeowners think about security measures like video cameras, security alarms, and deadbolt locks to keep their property safe. But what they don't think about is protecting their homes in the digital space. I just learned about a seriously terrifying new scam that literally allows people to steal your home from you without ever stepping foot inside it. The FBI calls this scam house stealing, where scammers can access your home's equity by filing fraudulent documents with the county, transferring ownership of your property without you even knowing. And how easy it is really disturbing. So because property records are public records, anyone can access your information. All they need to do is look up your information, get a notary stamp off Amazon, and fill out your county form. Like, literally, I looked it up. The forms are free online, and a stamp is about $25. The scariest part is that you probably won't find out until unpaid loan bills or foreclosure notices start arriving in your mailbox. And at that point, it is too late. The damage has been done, and you are left with a legal and financial nightmare to deal with. The best thing that you can do for your personal security is to make sure that your most valuable asset is secure in every way. And that is why I protect my home with Home Title Lock, and you should too. Home Title Lock monitors your property records, alerts you of any changes, and if you are a victim, jumps in with their team of restoration experts to resolve it for you. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial of their triple lock protection and a complimentary title history report by going to HometitleLock.com and using promo code LD30 or clicking on my link down in the description. Again, that is HometitleLock.com, promo code LD30, or my link down there to protect yourself and your home. There are currently two initiatives at the forefront of trying to make this snitching software. First, cloud-based 3D printing management platform 3D Printer OS has partnered with Montclair State University and their Making and Innovating for X Lab, or MIX for short, to try and create the algorithm to identify 3D printed gun parts. Print and Go, another company, has launched something called 3D Gunt, which is software that completely blocks a printer from printing gun parts. They've compiled a list of the most commonly used printers for so-called ghost guns and plan to target those systems specifically, despite those companies not making any complaints about the so-called misuse of their hardware, according to 3dprint.com. According to the site, building on these efforts, 3D Printer OS and MIX Lab have joined forces to develop an algorithm to detect 3D printed firearm components based on the unique design signatures. This partnership hopes to boost safety and regulatory compliance. By leveraging the expertise of both organizations, the project seeks to develop a tool that can assist manufacturers, regulators, educational institutions like K-12 schools and universities, and law enforcement agencies in monitoring and controlling the distribution of potentially dangerous components. Once the algorithm is developed, they plan to code the software to alert the main users of the printer that it's being used to make ghost guns, and then possibly even alert authorities. What it doesn't do is determine whether or not you're actually a prohibited person, a gunsmith, a hobbyist, or live in a free state where you can print whatever the hell you want. It doesn't conduct a background check or check a license. You know, they want to invade your privacy, but only their way. Their software doesn't care that you've spent your hard-earned money on this equipment, have a license, or anything else. They only care about being the morality police. And to them, if you are printing a gun, you might as well be a Nazi criminal. Now, 3D Gun has already taken their software a step further. They already have their own algorithm to detect gun parts and gun files. The software creates a database of these files and blocks them all from any printer with the software on it. Doesn't matter if you have downloaded the files, put them on a flash drive, it detects them, shuts it down. It also uses AI to recognize new and modified designs to continually add to the database, and absolutely nothing could go wrong with that. And on top of all of that, it logs and keeps records of every single print job for the authorities with the intention of allowing them to do a full audit of every machine and see your every activity on that printer. Basically already assuming that if you have a 3D printer, you're trying to be a criminal. It also uses cameras to monitor print jobs in real time and immediately stops the printer if anything remotely gun-shaped is detected. The companies say that this is their way to ensure that 3D printing technology is used safely and ethically without banning it altogether. In reality, the software violates Americans' privacy to treat them all like criminals and prohibited persons. You know, violating people's rights in the name of ethics and safety. So what we have is two companies making software to stop people from printing things they don't want them to print, whether they're in a state where it's legal or not. They're planning to target and market this software to some of the printer manufacturers whose models are most often used for 3D printing guns. We have no idea if those companies will pick up the software, but I'm sure that they'll be pressured into it either by special interest groups or government officials. If they choose to use the software, they are probably unlikely to disclose that. So then some schmuck spends however much money on a 3D printer, because they ain't cheap, and gets it home, isn't able to use it, and maybe even ends up with the cops at his door, all because someone in Silicon Valley in a college lab doesn't think that you should be able to use your property in a certain way, and thinks that firearms are a plague in America. When nosy busybody Karens are the much bigger threat. The co-director of the University Mix Lab says, "This partnership allows us to explore the intersection of technology and public safety. We are excited to contribute our knowledge to develop a system that can make a real difference in identifying and mitigating risks associated with 3D printed firearms." But really, that's just code for, we want to stop fellow Americans from engaging in their constitutional rights, and we want to violate other rights in order to do it. The good thing here is that if someone is developing this tech, someone else will likely stand up to build the opposite and ensure that at least some 3D printers remain free. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you are new here, drop a comment down below and ring that notification bell to not stop the signal. Lame joke. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and happy shooting. Maybe someone can figure out how to print a chainsaw and chainsaw mount for their AR.